you can either be a business owner or you can be a CEO. Welcome back to Meet Me at the Top. I'm Mia.
And I'm Eve.
And we're here to talk about the reality of being self-employed, what it's like to work in the beauty industry, and we want to take you along our journey to the top.
I went to do A-levels and that didn't work out. And then I went to do a college course and that got me to uni in the end. But yeah, I just wish I would have stuck on the beauty path at an earlier age.
I seen a statistic where it was like 60% of beauty businesses within the first 1 to 5 years actually quit. And then we just went and got the space and I just quit Tesco, still didn't have a fully booked calendar. I think that was probably my biggest risk.
Yeah, I think it's about having the stamina to keep going, even when things aren't looking like it's going right.
As soon as I left that part-time job and we got the space together, that's just when my business took off. I have no choice but to succeed.
How do you think our first episode went? That's what I'm interested in.
Do you know what? I think it went a lot better than what I thought.
Yeah.
We actually had some really good feedback. The girlies loved it.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, how do you think it went?
Do you know what? I did really enjoy it. I think we did really well to say it's our first episode and in this like professional setup, and we weren't as intimidated as we could have been in the setup. But I think I was going to bring back to what happened the other night. I feel like coming up to this episode, I was kind of, I don't know, it's like the imposter syndrome started to kick in again. And I was thinking, is this worth it? Does it make sense? Are we spending the money in the right way? Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's just like, they're the times when you have to remember, like, it all matters.
People want to quit and just give up. And it's like, we can't just do one episode and be like, right, we're disappearing again, like we did last time.
Yeah.
I think it is scary because this is all very new to us. You do lashes, I do brows. Talking in front of people never really was actually like, I think, a thought for us really.
No.
It wasn't something that was like, this is our dream and want to do. And we've kind of like just jumped into it, which I think is what we're a bit like, because I've even been thinking like, do we do that? We're both so busy.
Yeah.
Is this right that we're just then putting more pressure on ourselves? But I just think like, especially from the feedback, that kind of made me a bit more like, oh, people do actually want to watch it. Because I was thinking no one's going to watch it.
And I think there's a space for us, definitely, in the stuff that we're talking about. And it'll be the people that you least expect that will come through and support you. I've had people that I haven't spoke to in so long, people that I wouldn't even class as like friends, I'd say, reaching out and saying like, oh my God, I watched it and you're doing such a good job. So yeah, I think we need to stick at it. Of course, that's exactly what we're going to do.
And I did actually have good feedback from males as well.
Yeah.
I had guys like, nah, this is so good. Which again, I didn't expect. So it's great that even the girly talks can bring the men in.
Exactly.
So I feel like, let's kick off. So obviously going on the topic of like, we've done one episode and we're like, is this what we need to do? You do have the thoughts about quitting. I always think like with anything within not just the beauty industry, business itself, first off, the hardest part is starting. Yeah. But I also think the second hardest part is quitting. Because it's like you put so much thought into it. You've got these big plans, these big ideas that sometimes when you're faced with it, it can be quite intimidating. And I think I seen a statistic where it was like up to 60% of beauty businesses within the first 1 to 5 years actually quit and don't succeed, which I do think is quite a significant number. But I think what I want to touch on is a lot of people feel like you have to be made to do this, and a lot of people will be like, oh, only certain people can be successful, not everybody can be successful. So I genuinely think that there's space for everyone to be successful. Everyone has it in them. However, a lot of people just quit a lot easier than trying to be successable. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think it's about having the stamina to keep going, even when things aren't looking like it's going right for you. And you might have had that bad client in the day that give you a bad feedback or wasn't too happy and you had to redo the work. But it's getting through that and then getting through those hard days, and then it will pay off in the long run. But I think that's the difference between maybe the techs that have like a part-time job as well or a full-time job and this is a part-time thing. You never really get the chance to put your all in, or
mindset is a big part in it. I feel like it's, if you put your mind to it and you're so focused that like you want to sit and do something, you will go on to do that. But if you're telling yourself in your head, and the only person that's going to tell yourself and put you down like is your own mind. So if you're telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, I'm not good enough for this, I don't know, I've had a quiet week this week, like I need to give up, then you are going to fail with it.
Yeah, I think all the most successful people say that manifesting is a real thing. And I think even the energy that you put out, that's all you're going to get straight back at you. So if you are going around being a nasty person, and if you are frowning everywhere you go and doubting everything around you, that's exactly what you're going to get internally. And until you start putting out there like good thoughts and I am going to achieve this, and I keep saying to myself like I am going to be successful, and I am successful, and I am wealthy, and I have all these things, that will slowly start to just change your life. Well, I'm hoping it does anyway.
Yeah. Do you manifest?
Yeah, I would say it's something I've just started doing
you?
Properly, and even just like meditating and getting into that kind of mindset. I've noticed that so far I've noticed a change, I would say. Yeah, I think just in the way that I carry myself, I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot more confident, I would say. Before, it was always, I can't do this. I'm never going to be able to do this. But now I've flipped that. And every time I get some sort of negative thought in my head, I'm like, right, I need to go to the gym, or I need to get up and do something.
Just try and change straight to a
change it
positive,
straight away.
rather than keep in that negative.
Definitely. Is that something you've thought of doing?
See, I feel like I quite like when I'm negative, I take myself away from everything. I feel like I can't be around people in that point, because then I feel like as well, I hate to put my negative, because it's all about like energy, and you know, if you're having a bad day, I feel it. If I'm having a bad day, you feel it. Yeah. So I feel like it's important, like I'll try and take myself away, and then like you say, go to the gym or sit. And even like I think with manifestation as well, I'll try and then like say like words of affirmations out loud to try and change my mindset, because it's only you that's keeping in it. On like the note of manifestation, I don't know about you, but I always used to think like to manifest, you used to have to write everything down. Did you see the method? Did you used to do the method?
Yeah,
it was like
I saw it
3 times and then like 6 times.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's even just like your internal thoughts of like, today I'm going to have a good day.
Yeah.
That's manifesting.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, I think. It doesn't have to be mad like 6-month goals, by this date I'm going to be this person, and it doesn't have to be as deep as that. It just has to be simple little things. And then I think when you start to see those things progress and come true, then you're like, okay, well, maybe what happens if I manifest something big? Yeah. And I think it's I saw a girl on TikTok speaking about it, and she said that she manifested, she went from like living in like a house that she didn't like with her kids, and her kids were in a bad school and all those things, and within a year she got her dream job in her dream house. Her kids were in private school and she paid for it, and that was all due to manifestation. She used to sleep with like a positive affirmations in her sleep that would tell her like, you are going to achieve this, you're going to get a new job, and she noticed like 6 months later that really came true. So yeah, I'm all for it. And I think, like I said, most people that's successful, when I watch back interviews, they're always saying how manifestation was such a big thing for them. So I
feel like I do need to do it more often. I feel like I lose myself a bit with it, because I think sometimes when you like manifesting stuff and it doesn't happen straight away, I'm like, oh, it's not working. But it's not necessarily a thing of like, right, you're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to be a millionaire. It could be in 10 years' time, you're going to earn, like, you're going to be a millionaire. But I think, like, again, going back to the fact, like, people give up and quit so easily. So, like, people with manifestation, you'll stop doing it because you're not seeing something overnight.
Yeah. And I think also people think that it's just something you can say. It's like, it's not just something you can say, I'm going to be rich, and then you're going to be rich. It's like, it's the actions that are in between. That easy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be a millionaire.
That's what people make it seem like sometimes on social media, but no, it's like the little actions that you take every day, and it's more like the more you say it to yourself, the more you believe it, and the more the energy you give out is that's what you're going to achieve. So yeah, it's all about actions as much as saying it, I think.
Another thing, obviously, you know, we're saying about like manifestation and quitting, and people quit too soon, and some people don't want to sit and hold out on the journey, and they think because they want it overnight, they're not willing to wait that 1 year, 2 years. Like, I've been in the beauty industry 3 years, obviously doing brows, and I can say like I'm only just seeing now like the results of the past 3 years, and it's only just hit me now. Whereas if I like after a year, I was like, oh, because to some people a year is a long time, but for your business it's not. It goes really, really quick. And I think you kind of do need to wait like the 3 year, 5 year mark. And an important thing is that people don't realize is like, you never know how close your breakthrough is. Yeah. Like, you could give up one night, and you're like, you could have posted a video the next morning, and that could be your breakthrough, and that could go viral. And have you seen that picture of where like that guy's digging and there's like a diamond there, and he's like this close to it, but then he's like walked back. And I think that's like a really important thing that people need to focus on as well. Like, it could just be that one more day. Yeah, it could be another week, it could be another month, another year, but you'd actually never know how close you are to it.
Yeah, it's so true. I think you've always been that motivated to keep going. It's just some people would rather stay comfortable, and it's easier to be safe and comfortable than it is to take that risk and just jump out of your comfort zone. But for me, I'd much rather take that risk, and you never know what the rewards can be in the long run, I think.
I think though, like with taking risks, not everybody's willing to take risks.
Yeah.
And it's like a special type of person, a certain kind of person that will want to do that. And I feel like that does differentiate like a lot of people that like I said on the last episode, like you can either be a business owner or you can be a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And to be a CEO, like you have to take the risks. And I think you can touch upon this more. You know, you've had your salon, you've been in it's 8 years you've been in the industry now. And it's like, do you find you've had to take a lot of risks to get here? What was the like biggest risk that you ever had to take?
I think I'd say moving to Manchester probably was the biggest. And within that, I sold obviously my share of the salon. That was like my comfort blanket, you would say. I'd say at the time when I was 20, when I first opened, that was a massive risk to me. It was something that hadn't really been done by someone my age that I'd seen at that time. Nowadays, there's like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds doing crazy things. So times have changed, but back then I felt like it was a big risk. But then an even bigger risk for me to completely switch it up and change areas. But that was exciting to me. Like, I feel like when I get to a place where I'm just like stagnant, it's like I need to like scratch an itch that I've got where it's like I need to get out of this mundane life. I don't like being comfortable. It's never something I've thrived in at all. So yeah, what about you? What's the biggest risk you've taken?
Do you know what? I don't think I've took any significant risk that I could be like where I felt scared and I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. Obviously, moving where I was comfortable in a salon, I was on a booking system in the salon, I was getting clients through the salon. Probably, you know, I was still working part-time at Tesco. I wasn't fully booked. And then we just went and got the space and I just quit Tesco, still didn't have a fully booked calendar. I think that was probably my biggest risk because I obviously don't like to ask my parents for anything. I like to do everything myself. And my parents don't live up here. So it's not I couldn't just move back home. So I've got rent to pay, I've got bills to pay. And I took away, I mean, Tesco, I still wasn't earning loads, but it was probably just covering my bills.
Yeah.
And I took that away and I had to then try and fill my calendar. Because I still had gaps in my days. Like I wasn't fully booked. Like I was probably just scraping to pay the bills. You know, you're then reliable then for a space. I can't then let you down as well and be like, I can't pay the rent. So I think that was probably scary. But then I think by taking that risk, that has pushed me way more. Like as soon as I left that part-time job and we got the space together, that's just when my business took off. Because it was like in my head, I was like, I have no choice but to succeed. I was like, this is not going to fail. So then I feel like you put more effort in. When you take away that comfortability, you put more effort in without you probably even realising. Like, I think then that's when I pushed my socials more. That's when I've really focused on content. I've really focused, how can I be different to everyone? And then that's when I've seen that my business has just skyrocketed since then.
Exactly. And I think you have to look at every aspect, don't you? When you're forced to and you've got no other option, it's like you couldn't think about Tesco anymore because that wasn't in the background of what was going on. Now it's just like full focus on your business. And now you've literally done everything you need to do, and that's why you are seeing the results, and I love to see that.
Thank you. And I do think as well, like I always say this, which I find like so strange, because I don't know how I used to just live off a part-time minimum wage job. And obviously I wasn't fully booked, but I always used to be able to pay my bills. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how, because even obviously now I don't have Tesco, but obviously I'm doing a lot better. And I used to think, how did I used to pay?
How did you get by?
How? Because I was living in a more expensive apartment than I am now. I was like, what?
Out every weekend.
I was, but for some, like I always made sure I would have that money for it, I think. And then that pushed me as well, because I was like, no, like I don't have help off parents. I don't, just because I don't like to ask for help.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I did need it, they would. But I don't have help off anyone. Like it's only me. So I think that is just what pushed me more with it.
Yeah, and that's served you well. I think testament to your character and everything that you've done this up to this point. It's just, it's amazing what you've achieved.
Thanks, girl.
So yeah. What would you say, what's been going on in the past couple of weeks for your business? Do you think anything's changed for you, or made any adjustments? Or
do you know what? I didn't actually realise how busy that I've got.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't realise until you're getting clients being like, can you fit me in? And then I'm like, oh, like I'm booked up 2-3 weeks in advance. But I think it's just more like somehow, and I don't know how, but I've kind of like beat the algorithm on social media.
Yeah.
Like I could not post in like a week, but then when I post, it kind of always takes off. And it's took a while to get to that point. But I think because I've got to that point now, I have been able to sit back a little bit and I'm more busier than like what I have been before.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing's really changed. Just literally just busy.
What do you think? You say you beat the algorithm. What do you think's been the cause of that? How you managed that?
I definitely think like your main things for social media, you need to be having really clear content. Like lighting, content, background is a massive like important factor for it. When people are taking videos on their phones and it's blurry and then you're uploading it, people don't want to watch that content. So you really need to push like the quality of your content. And also what I did was, I always say you have like your 5 pillars of your content. So I always teach this to my students as well. So you'll have like a before and afters pictures. You'll have like educational. You can have where you're talking about, I don't know, a brow lamination, for example, for me. You could have like reviews. You could have like personal, so like day in the life. And then you can have talking about brands, you know, like mapping, anything like that. And I always say to everyone, so you want to be posting 5 days a week is my best top tip. And I say for every 1 day a week, post like one of each. Do that for 3 months. After the 3 months, sit and see what works best for you. So for example, for me, it's the brow mapping videos. It's the satisfying ones. When I now post a video of myself, nobody's interested in it. It doesn't get the views. So for me, I know for my content to now blow and for me to keep on the algorithm, to keep posting the satisfying videos.
Yeah.
So I think definitely like give yourself a 3-month period, go back on your insights, have a look over, see what does best, and then going forward, focus more on doing that.
That's what I've said is so good for you, because I remember having a conversation with you and I was saying how you don't have to post yourself at all you have to do is post your work, and that's how talented you are at what you do.
That's what I mean.
Whereas,
people don't want to see me.
Yeah, they don't want to see you at all. You can.
So when I do, I'm like, hang on a minute. Why don't you want to look at me?
Like I started my business, I just wanted to be like incognito. Like no one knew that it was me behind the page. I'd leave my personal page as it is. I wouldn't really push my beauty page on my personal, and that was how I liked it. My name wasn't on my beauty page. But the older I've got, the more I've realised I kind of do have to show myself. As we were saying before, people want to know who they're walking into, and people might come to me just off of the fact that they have things in common with me. So the fact that you don't have to do that, I'm just like, wow, unreal.
Well, I do think it's easier for like brows, let's say nails as well, even like semi-permanent makeup to do more satisfying videos. Because like of a lash, a satisfying video is like putting the lash on, taking the lash off. Whereas like with me, there's so many steps, like you're mapping, you're waxing, you're applying your tint, like even when nails, like doing a design. So I do think for lashes and lash techs, it's a lot harder to have a variety of content because it's all the same content. You try and mix it up, but there's only so much that you can mix it up. But I do think like, what do you think for you works best for you with your content?
See, I feel like I've tried a whole bunch of different things, especially on TikTok. Instagram, I've never managed to...
It's hard with Instagram.
Yeah, I've never hacked what works for me. I've never had like a post do so well on Instagram where I've been able to like work out what works best. Whereas TikTok, what works best is showing my face. Like it's weird, but I'll just talk to the camera. I'll give a tip, which is good because now I feel like it helps me go down the training path, which is what I want really. People don't want to see me lashing. People don't want to see my sets. They want to hear me talking about the little tips and tricks that I found along the way, because I feel like I have learnt the hard way through lashes. When I first started, there wasn't really many masterclasses. When I did my training course, it was literally a class full of like 30 people. There was like 5 teachers on the course, and to pass, all you had to do is put one lash onto
That's crazy.
One of the students'
and then you
lash.
passed.
Yeah, out the door, done.
That's crazy.
So I left with like no skills at all, I feel like. In that first year of me lashing, I think I learned everything myself.
Yeah.
Whereas now there's such advanced courses available. There's masterclasses. You know, you can learn so much in a day. Whereas I feel like I learned all that myself. But then it's a good thing because I've learned what works best the hard way.
Yeah.
All the equipment that I've got, all the tools that I've found are all the cheapest and that I can find to still keep the highest quality, which is unreal really that I've managed to do that. And I think a lot of people from taking the tips that I've put on TikTok and stuff, they've realised that, okay, like she is talking a bit of sense now. I would never put something out there that I didn't fully agree on. So yeah, look out for my tips, Lash Techs, if you want to find the tricks and the cheap items.
What you just said, obviously touching on courses, like you started out, you did a course and there was like 30 people on it. It was, I don't know, was it quite cheap? Was it?
No, I don't think it was on the cheap side. I think it was like 500.
Was it?
At the time, that's not cheap.
No.
I would have said.
For that quality of light as well.
Yeah. And imagine that 30 people, how much money that brought in on that day.
Do you find, because I think this is a big one, obviously you've got your group courses and you've got your more personal courses, your one-to-one, your two-to-ones. Mm-hmm. What do you find works best? Have you ever done a masterclass?
Yeah, I've done a masterclass.
You've done masterclasses?
Yeah. Not me personally.
Oh, but you've like,
have you taught them?
Well, you've taught, but have you
I've
ever
taught? I haven't learned.
You've not learned. Because I was going to say, because you've only been to like a group one. Obviously, I teach maximum 2-to-1.
Yeah.
Only reason being for me, I think like I like it to be a lot more personal. But do you think that like group courses are better, or do you think personal ones are?
I think small groups are best. I think, like you say, 2-to-1, I think that's the best. I feel like, especially with lashing as well, when it's 1-to-1, with lashing, you have to let people do their own thing. Like lashing takes a lot of time. Once you've taught them all the things they need to know before it comes to applying lashes, it's kind of up to them to learn how to isolate and stuff. Whereas brows, I feel like you can be around them and you can kind of come back to them. I've got to kind of leave you to it. So I feel like with 2, it allows you to go in between one to the other. It just makes the course flow a bit fluenter.
I think for me with brows, because I'm so like, I do think with brows you have to, because obviously you've got like your mapping, you've got your waxing, you've got like, it's all different steps. So I feel like I have to be more like, I am there. Do you get what I mean? So I think group courses I'd find more difficult. And I think as well, like another thing that I would just to touch upon courses, do you think you have to do an expense? Because obviously courses now, they're not cheap. I teach, you've started teaching as well. And when you actually, like looking at someone that's not in the beauty industry and you look at a course, you think, oh my God, that's so expensive. Why is it that much? You're overcharging. But obviously when you start offering courses, you realise it's your time, your tools, it's everything, your knowledge. But do you think like you have to do a more expensive course, or do you think cheaper courses are just as good?
I think it depends on the artist that you go into, the tech that you go into. If it's like, for example, people go to you because they know your work is top tier, right? They want to learn your ways of doing things. Whereas some people, like you say, they might be better at marketing themselves as a beautician rather than the work that they offer. You know what I mean? So it depends. If that's the case and you just want to go to a person because of who they are and you want to learn how they've made it to the place that they have, maybe it is worth the money. And it depends what service it is, I feel like, as well, because say if you want to learn how to wax, like, I don't know, Hollywood waxes and things like that, there's only one way to do it. So you could go and do a cheaper course as long as you're learning the correct method. Whereas with lashes, maybe someone can teach you how to make a big wide Russian fan, but they might not be as good with the wispy sets and the textured sets. So it depends what you're interested in. I think, and it depends how fast you want to learn. That's with masterclasses, I feel like. Masterclasses is about upskilling, isn't it? And learning a particular technique and something. So I think they're always good if you want to speed up the process. Whereas probably the same way it's took me 8 years to get as good as, no, not as good as I am, but it's took me a while to learn everything that I have. Maybe if I did a masterclass in my first year, or if it was available for me to learn in the first year, I would have been way further along than what I am.
I do think though, you know how you was obviously saying like people want to learn quicker and everything. What I've found with a lot of people that are wanting to do beauty courses is you expect to go on this course, on this 2-day course, and come away with it and be as good as someone that's done it for 4 or 5 years. And I think the reality of it is that people need to obviously know is you need to put the effort in. Yes, you go on this course and you learn the tips, the tricks, you learn I will teach you how I do brows. But when people aren't getting it straight away, I feel like some people will be like, oh, the course was rubbish. I didn't understand it. I don't feel confident. It's not because of like how you've been taught. You've not been taught wrong. It's simply the fact that people aren't willing to go away and put the effort in to perfect the skills and to practice.
Yeah.
They just think it's like, right, I'm going to do this beginner course and then I'm going to go away and do it. And I think that also goes hand in hand with like, I mean, I did kind of have this mentality, and this is why I'm going to say to everyone, do not have this mentality. If you're just going into the beauty industry, and I feel like you could relate, just for money, to get money, it's not for you.
Definitely.
You're not going to walk in, do a course and be fully booked. I think I kind of thought, right, I'm going to come away from this, I'm going to be fully booked straight away, or be getting people in, I could earn good money. In the reality of it, it's took me about 2 years, 3 years to get fully booked. And that is only because I was like consistent. I wanted to do brows as well for the fact that I enjoyed doing brows. Like brows is like my thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, I was willing to put in that effort. Whereas I think some people need to just think about that before they're going into it. Do you actually want to do it simply the fact that you enjoy this, or do you want to do it because you just want to earn money?
Yeah. You have to have a clear passion in what it is, the course that you're taking. You have to know that you want to do it for the rest of your life potentially. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it either comes for you or it doesn't. You can't force it. If you don't feel like it's for you, then it's not, but it's always worth a try.
Yeah.
If it's something that you find yourself, like if people find themselves watching satisfying brow videos often, then you know it's probably something
that
you could go into.
I think, obviously, as everyone knows, it's like all over social media at times. I've seen it a lot where people are speaking about how fast the beauty industry is growing, how much money there is within the beauty industry. I think everyone's so like, you can earn this much from being in the industry. But do you actually think, like, because when I was in school, teachers used to be like to me, beauty isn't a proper career. You don't go college and do health and beauty. Like, it used to be like you had to go to university. They would always push university on you. But then, like, sitting back now, knowing how much money is in the beauty industry and the statistics, and you know, you can go on social media and see how much everybody's earning within it, is actually, now it being in the industry myself and the teachers saying that's not a proper career, but people are earning more than what the teachers are that are telling you that you have to go to university.
Yeah.
From someone, obviously, I've got a degree. I went to university, and I don't think that was beneficial for me at all. You obviously did both. And what was your experience on that? Do you think, like, the teachers tried to push you to that?
100%. I always, even growing up, I was always doing my friend's hair. I was always doing their makeup. I was always the designator, like, fixer-upper.
Everyone will come to you.
Yeah. And I knew that was what I wanted to do. I used to go and watch my mum get a haircut and just sit and ask the hairdressers questions. Like, I was always inquisitive about beauty, but I was also smart, like book smart, GCSEs and stuff. I found that really, like, I kind of flew through that. And I did quite well. And I really did want to go into like beauty in college. That would have been the correct thing, which looking back, I wish I did do that, especially because it gives you a qualification in all aspects of it. So you get to find out what you enjoy the most. So I got kind of forced to do A-levels. Everyone's saying you're way too smart to do something like that in college.
And do you not think that college was like, in my school anyway, it was a bit frowned upon to go to college? It wasn't, obviously people weren't like, you can't go to it, but it was more like, oh no, you look so much better if you go and do your A-levels. And it's realistically, we're in the same position. If not, I'm doing a bit better and I've got there quicker. So I get what you're saying.
So I went to do A-levels and that didn't work out. And then I went to do a college course and that got me to uni in the end. But I just wish I would have stuck on the beauty path at an earlier age. Doesn't mean you have to stay there, but it could have opened up a lot of doors sooner for me.
So moral is, don't listen to your teachers.
Obviously, don't be pushing that out.
Obviously, I'm not saying that don't go university, start your own business, but I just think like,
follow your passions. Do what matters to you.
Don't listen to what everyone's telling you to do. Do what you want to do. Because I think, like I say, teachers, in hindsight, just want it to look good on, we've had more students that go to uni.
Yeah.
And that's not, I'm not obviously not saying just drop out, don't do anything. I'm like, 1 minute. But that university isn't the only path. And obviously, like I say, saying from someone that has gone to do that.
Yeah.
Loved university, by the way. I would, if you want the social side of it, I would definitely say to go. But I do also think there are other like options, other pathways to get in where you want to be in life, rather than you have to be in education.
But I think more and more people are realising that now.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a degree. It kind of doesn't set you apart from anyone having the degree. It's the experiences and the networking that you do along the way. I think we just need a quick moment to reintroduce the event that we'll be attending on the 12th of July, Pilates and Paddle.
This is going to be a networking event where you can meet other individuals, girlies like yourselves, and we are going to be guest speakers. So we just basically want to talk about being self-employed, about motivation, mindset, and just to basically
sit and chat to girls. I think I've always wanted to attend events like this. I think I've been too shy to even put myself out there or have a look for them. But I think this is perfect for any girls. Even just come by yourself and come and talk to us. That's something I'd want to do. So,
and I think as well, it'll be really good to like meet other girls like that will be coming on their own as well.
Yeah.
Obviously from Manchester. And you can create some friendships. But I think it is really good, especially if you've got your own business, to then link in with everyone as well.
Yeah, or if you want to set up your own business and you're wondering how, why,
or if you just want a day out. You don't even need to have
and paddle.
So yeah, the 12th of July at 2:30. You can see the link for the tickets down below in the description. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message us regarding that one as well, which that will be really exciting. I am looking forward to that one
too. Nervous, but excited.
Yes, we'll have to just see how it goes on the day.
I know.
We need to go.
Hear us stumbling.
If you hear us like trying to like cut into each other to try and save each other, just bear with us. It's the first time, but I do think again that's like an opportunity, how we said before in the last episode, that just came to us. That was like, you know, we're kind of putting ourselves out of our comfort zone massively with that one. Normally we're sat just talking one-on-one with clients. I've never spoken in front of like a group of people, have you?
Yeah, no, I haven't. But I think the places that we want to get to, this is something we've got to get used to. And the same with the podcast episodes. The more we go, the more we'll get used to speaking, and our confidence will grow.
Not
and it's just, it's all part of the process. So I'm excited to push myself. These things are exciting to me. I want to know if you have any funny stories to tell about like with clients and stuff. So I feel like this is all very serious.
Yes.
You know, talking business. We need to show that we do have a personality in here, guys.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not even like, it's not funny to the client. This is
why?
This is not. So this was when I was like starting out.
Yeah.
And at some points I used to do it from my apartment, and I had a ring light up next to the bed, and it was a first time client come to me. And she was, oh, this is awful. She was having a lash lift, so her eyes were taped shut. Anyway, somehow the ring lights fell on her head. Right, whilst her eyes are shut. So obviously I was like, oh no, picked it up. I've picked it up, let go. It's fell down again.
Oh no.
Smacked her.
And her eyes are shut.
But her eyes are shut. I obviously did her friends as well. Her friend was a regular client, and she kept mentioning this. She did come back to me, and I am really, really sorry if this was you. I didn't do it on purpose. I was like behind, like you know when you're there, like no.
Yeah.
And yeah, a friend kept saying, oh yeah, remember when you did that? And I thought, no, that's definitely something that she keeps mentioning. I think that's like the worst.
That can't be helped though.
No, I mean, it's not funny, and it wasn't funny at the time. No, but I have really bad like butterfingers. The other day as well, I had more Oxidant. Again, I'm so sorry. I don't do it on purpose. I promise I don't come to abuse you. I had the tint Oxidant, and it's quite like thick and bulky. And I don't know how, but somehow I've turned around. You was in the salon.
Yeah.
Somehow I turned around and it just went out my hand and just smacked the client straight in her head. I know. Again, her eyes were taped shut because she was getting a lash lift. And I was there like mortified. I was literally like trying to hug her like, I'm so sorry.
I mean, you said sorry about 100 times.
No, I did. Did you not think, what the hell is going on?
No, I just mind my business. Just head down.
That was me. I had to turn around like, what? But just butterfingers. But I promise it's not like a regular occurrence. But I think that's like the worst things, that when something can't be helped and you're like, oh, like this makes me look so bad. What do you think yours is?
I have a couple, but this is a judge-free zone, so I think I'm going to tell. I'm going to go and just tell the worst one. So, you see, with brow techs, like the best thing about your job is that your appointments are quick. 30 minutes in, out. So say if you've got like a dilemma going on, I don't know, something going on back home, an issue you've got to solve. You won't know for a while. You can get out of it in half an hour. Like you have those thoughts in your head, but you'd be thinking like, okay, I'm done in half an hour. Let me just sort it out afterwards. Okay, now let's get to the story. So I was seeing someone at the time and they were dropping me to work, and I had like an old phone that my mum was like, I need a new phone. Like I'm sick of my phone. So I thought like, I've got a phone that she'll probably like to use. This phone was tucked away for a while. Like I forgot I'd had it. So with that, I forgot what was on the phone. Anyway, the phone needed to be unlocked so my mum could use it. So I left it with the person and I said like, can you take this phone to get unlocked, like when you got the time? So I've been dropped to work, left the phone in their company, not charged or anything, just thinking they're just going to take it to the shop. So I've got this client now. I'm like midway through the day. It was maybe like 3 p.m. and I was just started this new client. She was a regular, love her anyway. And she still comes to me now, by the way, end of this story. Anyways, put the pads on, started lashing. Then I've got text on my phone like ding, 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 ding.
Oh.
26 photos.
Oh, what was on the phone?
Awesome.
No, wait, I think
this is my old phone with everything on. Like when you like with your partner, if like you're gonna do the phone swap, you've got a chance to like delete everything.
Old.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything's on there. And there was no password to make it worse. So I've just given him the golden key.
And you know what's worse? You sat there doing your client, you feel sick.
This is the thing. I've opened my phone, I've gone dizzy. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. All of a sudden I see a white light. My legs have gone jelly.
And you can't even be like,
my client said, like, I can't even pick up a lash right now.
Imagine your client.
No.
Did you not?
Turn up the music a bit so she couldn't hear my heart.
I would have had to say, babe, I'm really sorry, but I just need to tell you what's happened.
No, I couldn't do that. So I'm sat with these feelings now, just trying to get my sight back to see what he's actually seeing. Screenshots, chats, WhatsApp, DMs, Snapchats, but it's all like old things, but it's just, can you imagine just someone seeing everything that you've ever like got on your phone? It's just, that was a difficult time. So I've had to, bearing in mind, I've still got an hour and a half left of the appointment with the client. And I'm like this, like, no, I couldn't rest my hand on her forehead because I thought I'm shaking too much. I don't know. And then he's still got the phone. I'm thinking, how can I like explode this phone while I'm this? I'm thinking, how can I block it? I was trying to send like messages to the phone, like, this phone is stolen, please return. Anyways, in the end, somehow I got through that appointment. Somehow. I'm sure the set wasn't the very best of my work, but I got through it. And then I had to call it quits. I couldn't make it through the rest of the day at work.
Did you have to cancel everyone else?
I had to cancel. I think it was like 2 clients I had to cancel. That was a serious emergency.
No, I would have had to. That's valid.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But that's the thing with when you're a lash tech, like, say if you walk into work with something on your mind, you've got to sit there in silence for 2 hours, sometimes 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. Like, no matter what's going on in your life at that time, you've got to sit with it. And sometimes it gets dark.
But do you know what I think? Like, obviously I know you sat there for like 2-3 hours, but I feel like in those appointments, majority of the time, your clients go to sleep. So you don't have to, when you've got something in your mind, engage in conversation.
Yeah.
For me, because my appointments are shorter, my clients talk to me a lot, which I absolutely love. But when I've got something on my mind, if something's on my mind, I can't respond to my clients properly. And I feel really bad because I'm there, like, they'll say something and I'll be like, yeah. And then we're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wait, what did you just say? But if I've got something on my mind, I have to try not to take it into work, because I can't be like to my clients, like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, do you know what I mean? This is
you have to stay present.
I know you sat in thought, but at least you don't have to still speak. With me, I'm like trying to like answer, but this is on my brain. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing with our job. Like, you just have to try and just leave everything at the salon door.
Yeah.
Just for your day. Otherwise, your whole day is going left.
Yeah, that's why I think most people know, like, if they were in an emergency, don't ring me, because I am not going to answer the phone.
You're always on speaker as well. So even if you are from an emergency, you text like, sorry, can't answer.
Yeah, on aux, sorry.
I think, right,
yeah,
okay.
You just know not to message me, but that's partly part of the reason, you know, because if I've got PTSD from that moment,
I get it.
If I look at my phone and I see something I don't like, my whole day's messed up.
No, I get it.
But yeah, it follows into anything really. Like, if you're going into work and you are going through something at the minute, that's something that's hard about our job, really.
Yeah.
That we are expected to still show up and still be hi, and
that
same like positive, friendly person that you want to walk into at every appointment. But the reality of life is that you do go through things, and sometimes it's, especially when you're fully booked, it's easier to just keep going than it is to reschedule and take a break.
Yeah.
That's what can lead you to further like burnout and stuff. But yeah, when you've got nowhere to fill gaps to fill people in,
you have to do it.
Yeah, you have to
can't
show
move
up.
people.
You have to show up as like half of a person sometimes if you're going through things. And I don't know if you've felt like that before as well.
But I think that, like, one thing that I've found is, like, if I'm obviously, when I get to like probably 5, 6 o'clock, my social battery is normally burnt out. The conversation in me is gone. But an important thing, and I think this is where a lot of beauticians go wrong, and this is where you will hear clients being like, I went to them and they're so rude. The amount of clients that have come into me and been like, I went to this brow tech and she was really rude. First of all, I don't engage in the conversation, because I'm like, I don't like someone coming in and trying to slander somebody else. But the one thing that they're probably not being rude, they've probably just got something on their mind. But rather than, like, for example, if I've got something on my mind, I don't really want to speak, or I'm not in the mood, I'll just say to my client, like, I'm really sorry, but I'm just having a bit of a bad day, straight away. So then they know it not to take it personal, and not that I'm being rude to them. And I think this is where a lot of beauticians, again, don't go wrong, because sometimes it's easier just not to say anything, and it's easier, you know, just to be really quiet, just to be like, oh, sit down. And it's like, but clients take that personally. And when a client takes that personally, that can make you lose clients. And it could literally be like no fault of your own. Because like you say, we all go through bad days. We all go through where we've got an attitude and we can't get the attitude off. Like, I'm very, as well, if I feel an emotion, that you're seeing that emotion on my face. I can't, if I'm upset or I'm annoyed, I can't then be happy and smiling. But then, like I say, clients don't know that it's not about them and it's not to do with them. So I do think it is really important, if you are having that, just tell your client at the start. You haven't got to tell them what's going on, but just say, oh, I've just had a bit of a bad day. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's so true. I think communication will be best. But I know, me personally, I struggle with that sometimes. Sometimes it's easier to just say, oh, I'm just a bit tired today. Yeah. But that probably isn't the case. It's easier to say that than just tell you this 10-page story. You know, but it does make sense, especially if they're long-term clients. You should feel confident enough to be able to say that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of my clients that have been coming to me for how long, they'll know if there's something on my mind. They'll be like, you okay? And I'll be like, no. But
then it just all comes out. Then they're giving you a therapy session. You're not giving them one. I feel like that's happened so many times. And I feel like, I don't know about you, but I love that with like my regular clients, having that relationship. They all come back and they're like, right, update me. Where did we like go from last time?
Yeah. I remember everything. Happened. I don't know about you. I remember everything about the boyfriend's name, where they were last week, what they did. So then I'm like, right, let's take off again. But then my clients are like that with me as well. And I think that is so nice to have relationships, that it's like, if something is on my mind, obviously I don't say really personal things. And that's one thing that I will say to a lot of beauticians, is sometimes don't overshare too much to clients. Not that you can't trust them, but just sometimes you never know. You know, you don't want them to go tell so-and-so, who then tells so-and-so, then something's out about you. But I do think it is nice that when you have that relationship, that, you know, if you are having a bad day, they come in and like, right, what's up? And I can sit and tell them, oh, this has happened. And, do you know what I mean? I think that's the best part about the job. Like, I've got some of the closest friends that have come from being a client to begin with.
Same.
And I trust them more than some of the friends I have, not to be. But
Excuse me.
I'm joking. You could just sit there and you can tell them everything. Like it's your diary, and you can just walk away from that appointment, and then next time you see them, it's the same thing again.
Do you know, I think because sometimes as well, when it's like you get in a different perspective than like your girls. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got your girl group, but then you've got someone that doesn't know anything, doesn't know like the people, or like, I don't know, like your boyfriend.
Yeah,
like,
it's like an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, so sometimes they don't have as much as a say, in a sense. Does that make sense? They don't have as much as an opinion because they don't know, they've never met my boyfriend that's been an absolute idiot. Do you get what I mean? So then they'll try and see, they'll kind of give you another side, but whereas if it's your girls and your girls have met him, straight away it's like, fuck it. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it is quite nice as well.
Yeah.
I think obviously going off how we're saying, you know, having attitudes, and sometimes that clients can think that texts are rude, but I think it can sometimes also be the other way around as well. And I just like, one thing that I want to say is that not all money is good money. And as much as a client chooses a tech, I think like it's also important to know that like as beauticians, you can choose your clients as well. You don't have to feel like just because you offer a service, you have to give it out to a client. If you have a really, really rude client, don't feel like you have to just because you're the brow tech or just because you're the lash tech. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes people will bend their back. Like techs will bend their backs for clients that wouldn't do the same for them.
Yeah.
But just because you're a service provider, you're expected to
put up with stuff
with that. Yeah.
You know, just accept, like take it. And I think for me, and this goes both ways as like beauticians to clients and clients to beauticians, like my first point of meeting, so like when the first message, I can get a vibe off what the client's like. So if I've got someone that doesn't, for me a big thing is just like, hi, how much is this please? Like manners. But when you've got someone that's just like, they're like, hi, how much? Or can I book? Or like there's just no like manners, I'm more than likely going to feel like I just don't feel like I'm going to get a good vibe, and then it's going to push me to more likely be like, I don't want to offer that service just because my business is a peaceful business. I like to create it, you know, that's where I spend my day. We're at the salon all day. I don't want it to feel like there's like tension or there's rudeness. And it's the same as if I was like to a client, if I was really blunt and like no manners, no like, no, yes, like they wouldn't choose me. So I think it is really important. It's just manners.
Yeah.
Just manners, but it does definitely go both ways as well.
It does, 100%. And you set those standards in your business, so people know to follow through accordingly, which is nice.
I just think sometimes it's a bit of like, I just like a hi and a please.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've had some crazy messages like, I want my lashes done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want my lashes done. How much? Not even a hi.
Just demanding, that's what I mean. And
then,
do you not feel like you kind of look at it a bit like...
And then the question marks, question mark,
yes.
question mark, question mark.
This is a... And especially when it's like a weekend and say it was like, I think I got one, it was like a Saturday night at like 10 o'clock that they messaged and they didn't have a reply by Sunday at 8 o'clock and they sent me a question mark. And I was like, whoa. Like, it's my day. I need, you know, I'm not on... I think people expect you to be on your phone 24/7 just because you offer a service and you post on your Instagram, you post on your socials, but we need a break as well. You don't constantly need to be on your phone. And I think I, at first, found it quite difficult to separate. Like, sometimes I'll be chilling and feel like it's 11 o'clock at night and I have to be on my phone. But I think it's really good to have your times when you reply to your clients and then just turn your phone off or like log out that Instagram or shut it off. You don't be replying at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, literally just for your sake as well, just to have time away from your business.
Yeah.
Do you think, this was something that I did hear, that was a bit of an argument. Like, one girl was like, you should not, just because it's unprofessional, be replying at 2 a.m. to your clients. What's your take on that?
I think I don't agree with that at all.
No.
Because knowing us and the hours that we normally work till later, sometimes when I'm in bed is the best time for me to sit and respond, and that might be 10 p.m, 11 p.m. At least you're getting a response. You can respond when you wake up.
Yeah.
Just because it's not professional doesn't mean it's sometimes it's more convenient for us that way. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think I've definitely done it a good few times where that's the only time I've been able to reply. And I say that, like how I just said, the only time I'd say not to reply at that time is literally just for your sake as a beautician, just to have some time away from work. But I don't think it's unprofessional at all. But I think that was like, I did see like it was a bit of a debate on TikTok, and I just thought,
because even so with me, like I know I'll be looking for services to book. It might be late at night, and I might just think, oh, like, I want my lips blushed or something like that. Like I'll be looking. So same way for us, that might be the best time, most convenient time for us to be on our phones. So I don't think there's anything unprofessional about it at all. So I'm sure you're sat at home wondering, is this all you're going to get? Just the two of us? Are we just going to be talking back and forth all the time? That is definitely not the case with this podcast. We want to get people on that are like-minded, other girls in this area of the industry, the beauty industry, people from other industries that are just striving to be successful. So that is all to come from us. How are you feeling about that, Mia?
I feel like you all definitely need to tune in to next episode. You're going to see a lot more from other girls as well. We do have a very special guest coming on, someone who personally, obviously I know myself because I've been with her before and gone to her, and I just think this person has grown a lot very quickly, and she's just here to share with you her tips and tricks as well. So
I think you'll be surprised how much this girl is bringing in, how much bank she's making, and that is possible. So it's a story for everyone to hear, I think.
So thank you for watching this episode. All our handles where you can find us will be down below. Remember to comment, subscribe. If there is anybody that you do want to see us with, that you all think is going to be a perfect fit to come and join us, comment that below as well.
Yes. And I think please do subscribe actually, because it helps us know that you are interested in our content. And we really enjoy coming here and filming. Despite the imposter syndrome, we're going to keep going.
We'll get there. Give us a month or two, and then
we are not going to make it to the top if we don't keep trying. So
stay tuned to see how we're going to get to the top.
Yes, see you on the next episode.